So this has been my physique for over 5 years now, and honestly I've never really had a problem with snacking. In this video I'm going to highlight a few very simple points that you need to know to overcome the snacking habit forever, and it is way easier than you actually think. So let's go. The first thing you need to understand about snacking is the reason why you do it. And the reason why you do it is because there is an emotional void that you're trying to fill. This is the reason why you do any suboptimal action, anything that doesn't bring you any benefit, is because you have an emotional void which you're trying to fill. Now in the case of snacking, it's almost funny because with the clients that I've coached, a lot of times you snack because you're not happy with the body that you've got. Because as men, we're wired to become protectors and providers and be the best version of ourselves. However, when you're overweight, when you're not performing at your best, you don't feel good. And when you don't feel good, you want to mask that feeling with an action. And that action, 9 times out of 10, is snacking. Right? Because you're not actually dealing with the problem of the weight and the body you're not proud of by going to the gym, eating correctly, changing your lifestyle. The easier option is just to mask it by snacking. So that's the first thing to understand. What is the emotional void you're trying to fill? And if you want to highlight this even further, you can think about it. Once you finish the workout, or once you're really proud of yourself and you're with a positive environment, do you feel like you need to go and munch on some burgers and snacks and chips and things like that? No. Most of the time you want to feel like snacking is once you've had a stressful day at work, or you've had an argument with someone, or something's gone down in your life where it's not really making you feel good, so you try to mask it. So just keep that in your mind the next time you go throughout your day. What emotional void am I trying to fill with snacking? Now, the second point to overcome this snacking habit forever, and this is something that is super important, is you need to find a reason to stop snacking. Sounds simple, but let me explain. To your mind, to that brain that you've got housed inside your skull and cranium, you need to talk to it and give it a reason, because that little brain is saying, this chocolate that I'm eating, it tastes really good, I love the crunch, there's about 100 little pieces, it's cheap, I can access it absolutely anywhere, I can eat it when I'm walking, driving, studying, working. Why the hell should I give it up? You're telling me to stop snacking. I don't want to stop snacking. There's no reason for it. Why? I'm going to continue. So you need to provide that brain a strong enough reason. And that you need to find from within. That is something that will be directly related to your values and your principles. And if you have not identified those, then I promise you, you just won't be able to give up snacking. So you'll keep doing it. Find the value, find the principle that's core belief system to your life, and attach an outcome to that. That is going to be the reason which you will use to give up this snacking habit. So with my clients, a lot of them, they don't want to be overweight, right? They understand that their potential, they're not living up to. They're not happy with the body, they're not confident. In social settings, they've always felt like the outcast. These are important reasons to make a change. And the really cool thing is, the time that they'll stop the snacking habit or seriously reduce it is when they start to see results moving towards that goal. So as soon as we start the coaching, a lot of the times no one just stops snacking straight away. It'll be once the scale starts to shift, or we did a check-in and the body fat's really starting to change, or the strength's going up in the gym, or the face fat's coming down. Right, a tiny little notion of the goal that's important to me I'm moving towards. If they can recognize that, then that snacking habit will decrease super fast. So you need to find a way to measure that result as soon as possible and make it regular. And once you give your mind that positive feedback of the goal that I'm working towards, I'm actually seeing results towards it, you have given yourself an even stronger reason to stop snacking. So to summarize those 2 key areas, you need to understand and find the emotional void that you're feeling with snacking. And number 2, provide a strong enough reason related to a core belief as to why you should stop that habit. Combine those 2 things together with the practical steps. Super simple. Have a meal plan. Don't buy snacks into the house. That's really it. You will stop snacking. And just to highlight this as a universal law of the reason and the importance of having a why, I want to share you a little story from my life, right? I had an 18-day game time on Warzone. That means if you start playing Warzone today and you don't stop for 18 days, that's the time that I accumulated in just 2 months. I have been a serious binge watcher of TV. I've binge watched season 1 of Witcher and season 2 of Witcher in one night. Every single season of Stranger Things I've watched as soon as it came out in one night. I've played Last of Us, the game, in one evening, one setting. I've smashed through video games, TV shows, all of my life. And it was literally something that I would proudly tell people. Like, I've watched a TV show, I've watched this anime show, I've watched this, I've watched that. But in the last month, I've not watched a single episode of TV, anime, Netflix, whatever. And in the past 2 months, I have not even played my PS5. Right now, that PS5 that I bought at the end of last year is sat in its box, it's not even been unboxed. In fact, I gave both of my controllers away to my boys in a different flat. Now, why would someone like me who loved playing video games, who enjoyed it so much, just decide to stop? It's because, like I said, I found a goal more important than that, and that is becoming a successful entrepreneur. That is way more important than that, and I am willing to make the sacrifices necessary to get there. So why have I decided to give up the video games and TV shows and Netflix? And it's because I want to maintain my dopamine levels. Building a business, obviously, as you know, is not easy. It requires a lot of effort, a lot of difficult tasks. So if I chase easy dopamine like TV, Netflix, video games, then doing the hard tasks like recording videos, publishing content, client programming, improving my own fitness in the gym, doing cardio, training hard, these things feel harder. Would I want these business tasks to feel harder or feel easier? Easier. Therefore, I subtract the things that are getting in the way. This is something I learned from Dr. Anna Lemke from the book Dopamine Detox. Even if you don't get the book, I really suggest you listen to her YouTube video. She has a lot of insight on this. If I didn't have a goal, if it wasn't important, if I didn't have strong enough reason, then why the hell would I stop playing video games and TV and Netflix if it's something that I enjoy? Do you see the difference? You will not stop that snacking habit if you do not have a strong enough reason to do so. That's going to be the vehicle that's going to drive the change in the first place. Just implementing the practical routines and doing this and doing that is not going to help, right? So to summarize, identify the emotional void that you're feeling, provide a strong enough why, then apply the practical steps. And honestly, it's going to take time, right? It's going to be a process. This is a war that you're fighting, right? And in the war, there's going to be lots of little battles that you're going to face. At the start, you will lose more battles than you win. But in the space of 3, 6, 9, 12 months, you'll start to win more battles and lose less. And then eventually you'll get to the point where you're winning the war. And how do you know when you're winning that war? You'll know when the thought of snacking is just a passing, fleeting thought going through your mind every now and then. So let's just say with the video game and TV show example that I talked about earlier, maybe 3 to 4 times a week does a thought of, watching a TV show or playing a video game just sort of pass into my mind. And these thoughts are not 10 out of 10 urges that make me open up the laptop and type it. No, they're just like a passing, fleeting thought. And I can just easily just be like, oh yeah, that's just not really vital, it's not really important to me. Just dismiss it. That's where you'll get to. So up until that point, just know you still have more battles to fight, but I promise you will get to that point where the thought of snacking and the thought of binge eating or whatever it may be will just be a passing, fleeting thought. But it's good that now you have that aim to work towards. So if you're not there, keep sticking at it. Keep reminding yourself of the why. Face the emotional void instead of avoiding it, and I promise you will defeat this habit. And it's a very big ROI habit if you think about it, because not only are you transforming your body and your physique and your fitness and your face fat and your appearance and your confidence, you're also developing the skill of impulse control. This is the single greatest skill any human being can develop. Promise you this for a fact. If you have control of your impulses, you can literally achieve anything that you want in your life. And this is something that I'm working towards myself. The most disciplined people have the most impulse control. If you can overcome the impulse control of a snacking habit, everyone has their own vices, you will develop your character so much so that you can face so many other challenges and overcome them and hopefully achieve really cool things in your life. Hope that helps. Goodbye.